I'm going to make it brief because I finally have some time. This message is for everybody who has ever tried to work more than one job, go to school full or part-time, still have kids, still have a family, and still find out that no matter how many ways you try and slice it, it's just never enough. There I was 6 years ago in that same situation, working two jobs, trying to run my own business, finding odd jobs, going to school, doing everything that they told me to do, just to realize that none of it was meant to actually work in my favor. So, believe it or not, I got into real estate from a coupon. One of my homegirls said, "Hey, Steph, you like coupons and you like school. I figured this would be the perfect gift for you." And I ended up passing the class. It was not nearly as hard as I thought. It's not, I don't want to say that it's not hard, because some people really do have issues with studying and things like that. But I got this license in 2 weeks. I got this license during COVID at that. So the only reason why it took me a total of 4 weeks to actually become licensed is because I had to take my exam, and the exams couldn't have so many people in a room. But either way, it was all a video. I watched the video, I washed dishes, I did the house chores, I studied, I did whatever it is that I needed to do while this lady was talking in the background. WRA, Wisconsin Realtor Association. Those are the three words that are going to be your favorite words if you have ever considered thinking about getting into real estate. Now, I'm not going to be the one that says this is HGTV and you're going to make millions of dollars a year and life is going to be great. Because let me break it to you, sometimes months are zero. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 months that are zero. But sometimes there are dream come true months. These dream come true months will be a check that takes care of everything that you lack, plus the things that you want. But now this is where financial literacy comes in. Just because you make more money does not mean that you are going to know what to do with said money. We hope we do, but we always don't. So entrepreneurship, one, is not for everybody. If that was the case, we would all be business owners and nobody would be consumers. The world, and at least in America, is ran by capitalism, which is consumers, people who buy stuff, people who manufacture stuff, and people who buy stuff. There's people who ship stuff for, cheaper prices, but at the end of the day, we are all consumers. We are all going to buy something. The question is, how much work do you have to do in order to get the money to reach the things that you want to do? So for some, it's if I work 40 hours plus overtime, I can go on that vacation. For some, it is if I work 2 jobs and I eat sardines and ramen noodles, I can then afford to put gas in my car. These are the people that I'm talking to, because these are the things that make a difference. No knock on any other business, but if you do Uber or Lyft, any kind of delivery job, service, any kind of thing with your car, know that any money that you make, you are trying to bring in because you want to have more money. However, you now have car repairs, car maintenance, and insurance and other things that come up that are now eating away at that. When it comes to real estate, I do not have to hold on to any product. I do not need to have an office. I'm in a cloud-based brokerage, Epique Realty. It's a really, really great brokerage if you are still thinking about getting into real estate. However, becoming a realtor, you have to pay to play. If you try and get into real estate thinking this is public school, you're not going to last long. Let me put something into your head. There are 1.4 million realtors in America. And this is from the National Association of Realtors. And out of those 1.3 million, the majority of them never make a sale. And if they do make a sale, it's 1 or 2 sales, usually their house, their parents' house, friend's house. They're not actually in business. They did it once, and then they either A, never reinvested their money back into their business, or B, they just got so used to getting paid every week, every 2 weeks. They got used to that consistent, if I do this work, I get this paycheck. I do this work, I get this paycheck. That when it comes to work, no paycheck, work, no paycheck, work, big paycheck. Some people can't go through those highs and lows. Like, it is definitely an emotional thing, but Day in the life of a realtor after you get your license, after you hang your license with a brokerage. Talk to me if you want to know about a brokerage that helps you save money by putting money into your pocket and helping pay for all of the things that are expensive that come along, like listing photos, like mental health insurance, like care for elders and child care, like a 401k. These are all things that a lot of brokerages that I've seen do not do or do not care for. Now, it's not just about the benefits, because you do have to do the work. There's going to be buyers and sellers, investors, luxury places, commercial, land. When you get your real estate license, you can sell any form of land, bricks, sticks. Just that simple. So when you go into different parts, you do need to do additional training. If you've never done agricultural or you've never sold a farm, you're not going to just start off day one selling a farm unless you do the research and you pair with different agents that have done it to make sure you don't mess it up. In Wisconsin, we have a certain amount of forms. Those forms are in our zip forms. Those are pretty much fill in the blank. So when you ask yourself, can I be a realtor? Ask yourself, can I fill in the blank? Can I read? Can I comprehend? And can I fill in the blank? If you can do those three things, you can be a realtor. Because all it is working with people to help them understand these contracts. Now, here's the thing that we do. We are licensed to know this contract. We read it all the time. We at least know what it says. Our regular retail customer, regular buyer seller, they may only buy or sell one house within several years. So this means that you hand them about 40 to 50 pieces of paper, say sign here, and they hope that the agent that they hired had their best interests. Ethically, that is what we are supposed to do. But what I have learned in this industry is there are some agents out here that are really just about the money. As long as they get their commission checks, they don't really care if they really service their client or not. And not just service the client, but service the community. If you bid $20K over asking that was already an inflated listing price, you just raised the taxes for everyone in that area. And you have the potential of maybe putting yourself upside down in a mortgage. Yes, you have an appraisal. Yes, the appraiser may say, yeah, it appraises for this, because it's based off of who is likely to, if you can get somebody to pay for it, it now has value. If somebody wants it, it has value. But keep in mind, it is still land, bricks, sticks. So, outside of your regular buyers, sellers, going to see houses, going to, say, hey, let me list your house. It is also about building relationships. You need to know inspectors. You need to know title companies. You need to know contractors, roofers, plumbers. You have to be social, even if you are antisocial. And not saying you have to go to every event, you have to be the main party, but the people who are on your team and the people who you can give as references to your clients, that is how you keep building business, and that's how they keep coming back. So, kind of a long tangent. However, if you have thought about real estate, always reach out to me. I'm here for you as a local agent in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But wanted to kind of give you just a day in the life of a real estate agent that isn't just your, hey, I saw a house. How to start, WRA.org, pass your class, get licensed, pass the test. All of the fees can be found on the WRA website. And then from there, it's really a matter of hustle. If you are going to go in and you are not used to being an entrepreneur, I highly recommend keeping your day job. Do both until you have enough to be able to go full in, because just like any job, when it comes to real estate, you have to do training. If you do not do training, you're going to be running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And that's not how we do business. But tune in next time for next daily tips of the life of a realtor. See you later.